Hello, this is Katie, and this is my second Easter card. I wanted to make a long card. This is 4 inches by, I believe, 8. I'm pretty sure it's 8. So I've pre-cut some of these. I'll explain what I did, because I was mostly just kind of planning how I wanted it to work. So I'll tell you where I got those or which die cuts I used. Let's measure this. Yeah, it's 8. So it's 4 inches by 8 inches. Card base. So then I took some of the blue, not the more teal color, but the blue from the new speckle paper from Lawn Fawn, and just cut a section of that to fit the card and a little bit over, because I'm going to end up covering it with these grass layers. And then I used the stitched windy backdrop, which I love. I've made at least 2 cards where I regretted not using this in the sky, like I forgot I had it. And so I love doing this for sky backgrounds. So I just set that over the piece that I cut. So I've got the speckles and the stitched windy part. So I'm going to stick that down to the card base, and I just refilled my tape gun, so it's running very smoothly. I did, however, this hinge right here broke, but it doesn't really affect how the tape runner works, so that is fine with me. So I'm going to make sure that covers the whole top. Okay, so I'll stick that part down. And then I have I could probably have not used so much paper, but this is just how this works in my head. So I have a piece of paper. This is from the Lawn Fawn Really Rainbow Christmas. It's the green dotted one there. I just wanted to have some green pattern for grass, and then I used the Lawn Fawn grass die cut to do each of these. And I found that I can't run. I have my bigger Sizzix. I also have the little sidekick I use for smaller dies, but I can't run the grass through this way through my Sizzix. It won't. No matter how I'll roll it back and forth like 4 times, and it won't, on the edge, it won't cut. I had to hand trim the end of some of these. It just doesn't cut through that well that way, and I think it's kind of the case for any long die. It needs to go through this way. So I had to on this one just because it was longer and it wouldn't fit the other way. But on these shorter ones, I ran it through this way instead, the same number of times, and it cut it out just fine. So if you have any long dies, like any of these are kind of from random places, but this is the Lawn Fawn grass. If you run it through this way through your machine, then it should cut just fine. I don't know if I got a bad die cut or not, or if you're just supposed to run it that way by default. So I use those, and then I've combined a handful of Halloween die cuts, but I used the Lawn Fawn Spooky Fence for this. Hopefully it looks just like a little picket fence, but it's kind of pokey. But I wanted that at the very bottom, so I cut that out of white. And then these clouds, I think these are the only cloud dies that I have, but it's from a little Inker Design set that comes with like a rainbow and then a partial rainbow, and then these 2 clouds are 1 die. And so I cut those out of white to put in the sky. And I've also cut out some trees from, this is the whole shadow box, the base kit for the shadow box card for Lawn Fawn. So I cut out some of these, and I used these 2 sizes, a few different greens. So I might put together some trees to stick in here. So those are what I've used so far. I think I'm going to stick this large green grass panel down to the card, and just in case I want to tuck anyone inside, I'm going to leave a little bit of space at the top where I don't put adhesive. So just kind of, if you can see the shine on that, this space here, so I can tuck someone behind the grass if I want to. So I'll start this one at the bottom corner and line that up with the edge of the card. And then, let's see. Oh, so the idea was to kind of hide this up here further. And this one will just be attached down here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the fence down first to the bottom piece. And I have tweezers in here to hold on to that. And then I think I wanted to, actually might wait to do that because I wanted to place maybe some things behind the fence, like some eggs or something, before I glue that down. So I'll wait on gluing down the fence to the bottom piece. And I've actually I had some eggs cut out too, but I may use the new Lawn Fawn egg dies and cut out some more because I have some papers left over from doing that, and I've also got some eggs still cut out from an egg card that I made. So I'm going to put these down. I think I want to raise those up. So we're going to take the clouds and put some foam behind those. And I'll do another piece up there and another one down below to support that. Okay. I've got that one covered, and then I'll give that one a little extra piece. So I'm pretty sure I wanted the big cloud on the left, and I'll do the little one on the right. And I'm going to use, for sure, probably a couple other sets, but I'm going to use this set from Avery Elle called Easter Chicks. I just thought that was very cute, and I want to use the Happy Easter from that set. So I wanted to put it, because it's not going to stamp very well over these windy swirls. So I wanted to stamp it on a banner. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think I could probably stamp it on the cloud if it wouldn't look too silly. I'll just mount up the sentiment and I'll see what that would, if it even fits. It doesn't fit on the cloud. So we'll do it on like a little banner. I can hand cut a banner. So I'll stamp the sentiment onto just some white cardstock. Then I'll trim that down. And then I usually just use my square punch. This is just a Stampin' Up! 1-inch square punch to create banner edges. So I just put it in upside down, make sure I find the word, come off of it enough, and then center it. So I'm punching it in the middle and then come off of it about the same on this side. And then I've got a banner. And so if I can make this a little skinnier, it'll fit in the sky a lot better. And then the banner edges kind of take care of themselves. But you can always go back in and re-trim them. All right, so now I've got a thinner one, and that can go right in there. I think I like it down underneath, so I can just stick that straight to the background there. So the clouds are hovering over it. Okay, so we'll stick that down. All right. So then for this one, I want to lift it up, and I think I want to lift up this one too. So I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of this grass and just kind of center it in there where I want it. And then leave some room again here below so I can tuck some characters behind it if I want to. So then I'll put this one about here, going across, so I've got the dimension there, and I can hide some guys behind the grass if I want, or trees. So I'll put one of these together. I have glue. I think this might have finally gotten clogged. It was my little one that wasn't clogging. There we go. Okay, so I'll just put some glue on the tops of the branches there. And then just stick a tree to it. These don't quite look like trees. Or maybe, oh, maybe they're supposed to go like that. That makes a little more sense. So I will do that instead. So I'll put some on the back of the branches here. Not too much glue, because the last one it kind of squeezed out a little. I think this is what they're supposed to look like. I hadn't added any to my shadow boxes yet, so I wasn't sure how to put them together. Then I will take, oops, it's not what I wanted to do. We'll just take that off and put this one on the front instead. So I will center that here. hold that down. Okay. So I'm going to pause for a little bit while I stamp some of these guys here and then die cut them out. Okay, so I tried to put some foam tape on this bottom layer here, and then it was too much and it was gonna be too high up here, so I had to rip it off. I had to come up with a new piece. So I put some foam tape in the middle to cover that, and then I'm going to just add tape runner onto the area where I pulled it off, and then I'll just stick this down, and then that way I still have that space behind the grass for tucking things in. So I'm going to glue down a few trees here. I'll use my tweezers. Oops. So we'll get some glue on the back of those. Got to be careful not to wreck my grass. Oops, I think I just bonked you, sorry. The glue kind of seeps through the stitched holes on the trees as well. Hopefully this green still kind of shows through. I think maybe just the two here. And then behind the fence, before I stick this down, I made 2 eggs. I have the solid color speckle paper with the white speckles on top. I'm not sure if this is focusing. I had to press that. Okay. So I have those. I'm going to kind of hide them down behind the fence before I put the fence down. So I'll just put purple one on this side, and then I'll put the blue on the other side. Just so we've got some hidden eggs behind the fence. Okay, and then I'm going to just pause because I'm running out of time on my phone. Try not to bend my fence here while I color in these guys a little bit, and then I will be putting them, wonder if I can, there we go. So now it'll just focus properly. Put them kind of poking out of here, and maybe a couple more eggs, and I will be right back. Okay, so I colored in the little chicks there. I used Y35, Y08, and Y15. And then I used an orangey, I think YR16 on their beaks and their little feet, which you can't really see in there. And then I tucked them in there. I made 2 more eggs, so I have one of each design and color. There's one more color, I think it's the teal, in the set there. So I'm not quite sure what else I could add, but I guess I'm happy with it as it is. I'm not sure what I could put maybe here. But yeah, so that is what I came up with. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.